Welcome back for The Lid. Our cameras are staked outside of the House Intel Committee right now. They're behind closed doors. Who knows what they're doing in there? But at some point today, they're supposed to be voting on whether or not to release Devin Nunes' memo. Matthew Continetti, Susan Page, Jason Johnson are back with me. So they're going to be voting, and from the looks of it, they're going to vote yes to do so. Donald Trump will then have 5 days to decide if he wants to stop them from doing it. The DOJ has called it extraordinarily reckless, but the Washington Post reported over the weekend that John Kelly made it very clear to AG Jeff Sessions that the president wants it released.
So it's likely that the president would approve of the committee's decision to release the memo, and we would all be able to see it, which I'm actually looking forward to.
Why?
I may be the only member of the press, it seems, but I'd like to read what the committee chair, Devin Nunes, claims. Now, of course, his ranking member, Adam Schiff, says it's a bunch of baloney. And he'll then, I think, as the congressman told you earlier in the show, also give his own document, his own memo. And so we'll get...
though, I mean, this is the state of play right now. The Republicans say we have this memo, and we're going to show you all the ways in which the DOJ and the FBI are corrupt. The Democrats come out and say, oh, no, we're going to have our own memo showing you all the ways that the Republicans are actually corrupt in doing this. Everybody is looking at it through their partisan lenses. It's all how it's going to affect them politically. I mean, is there any realization in Washington, here in Washington, that the American public is sick of this sort of stuff?
I don't think they realize that. I don't think when you're not in D.C., when I'm back in Ohio, when I'm in Atlanta, when I'm in Central Texas, this is not what people want to hear about right now. They want to hear about jobs. They want to hear about the economy. They want to figure out what's happening with immigration. This sort of petty Game of Thrones nonsense that's happening with these members of Congress isn't ultimately going to change how they vote. It's ultimately not going to change how the investigation works. And it ultimately is not going to change the results of 2018. So I find all of this to be disappointing. And at its core, I'll admit this. Look, if there is something wrong with how the FBI is doing their job, then Nunes and the members of the committee have an obligation to release this information and correct it. But it seems right now it's probably just Al Capone's vault. Like, it doesn't seem like there's anything they're going to reveal, because the people who've seen it already have said, hey, look, this is all just conjecture.
Yeah, but it contributes to this corrosive attitude toward Washington and this feeling that there's no one in Washington trust. Institutions that used to have standing no longer do. I mean, why is it that the economy is good? There's growth, there's low unemployment, the stock market keeps breaking records, but by about 2 to 1, Americans say the country's on the wrong track. That is a disconnect that we have not seen in the past. In the past, if the economy looks good, people feel like the country's on the right track. Something has made Americans feel like there are a lot of things that are going good well in the country, but I think that we are headed in the wrong direction.
So what is it?
What is it?
Yeah.
Well, I think part of it is Donald Trump. and the truth is, a lot of the economic gains that have happened as part of the Trump boom have gone to the areas of the country that voted for Hillary Clinton. And so you have this weird mix of results where the people who were hurting last year and in 2016, their recovery is slower than those who actually are against Trump for political reasons and don't like him personally. So I think that contributes a lot to that number.
What does this look like out, though, in real, I hate saying this, real America. Everywhere is real America. But what does it look like outside of Washington? Does it look like the Republicans are doing everything they can to undercut the DOJ and the FBI the closer it gets to Donald Trump? Or does it look like everything Donald Trump says or does is a reason for mass hysteria?
So I think even if you go beyond the partisan lens, the most simple way to look at it is this. If you ask somebody in the middle of Missouri, if you ask somebody in Utah, you ask somebody in California, hey, do you trust the FBI to find a missing kid? They say, yeah. See, people still trust the FBI. People still trust most of these institutions. What they don't like seeing is politicians, and in particular from this president, trying to undermine institutions that we generally trust for their own political benefit. It's not like tomorrow people are suddenly not going to believe what the FBI has to say. But what they are going to start saying is a president who attacks his own institutions on a regular basis is not a president we can trust. There are lots of Americans who think that America has improved. There was this whole study about, different racial perceptions of things. There are lots of Americans who actually think that this country is a safer, more responsible place now than it used to be before Trump got in office. But the majority of Americans who didn't vote for this president, who don't like this kind of acrimony, are unhappy. And if it doesn't come out in the voting booth, it's going to come out in other possibly negative ways in this country if we don't have some more discipline and civility.
I got to tell you, I was in Los Angeles, not the most bipartisan place, but Los Angeles over the weekend, and I ran into person after person who just said they were just sick and tired of all the fighting. They wanted to see anything get done. Matt, Susan, Jason, guys, thank you so much for being here. Good to see you in person here in Washington.